My name is Jim. I'm with ColorCasters, and we are going to have a webinar today with Clark from TruHu. I'm joined, as always, by my business partner.
I'm Shelby and also from ColorCasters.
Yeah. And so in a minute, we'll let Clark introduce himself. But the purpose of these webinars, we're trying to do these quarterly as part of our whole Confident Color initiative, is to provide free information to people in our community who are interested in tools for improving their color consistency, predictability, and repeatability. And we've known Clark for a long time, but we became aware of Clark's TruHu tool about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And it is a app for the iPhone, still only iPhone, I think, right? Which I'll let Clark confirm. Okay. And so it's an iPhone app that allows you to do monitor calibrations for $39 or $49 a year, or whatever your current price is. And Clark will get into some of that. I've used it. The monitor I'm looking at, I've got a relatively new MacBook Air that I used TruHu to calibrate. Super easy. My ESO monitor over here to my right, which you guys can't see, is also TruHu, and I can drag things between them, and it's pretty good. I mean, especially for the price and the ease of use. And so with that, Shelby, unless you think we need to, make sure you stick around till the end.
Right. I was
We
going to bring
have,
it.
we truly have free gifts. Clark has agreed to give away a annual subscription to TruHu, which is it $39 now?
Yes.
$39 is the current price, yes.
Yep. And then we're also going to give away, I have one in back, a Nix Mini, which is a handheld colorimeter. It's a Mini 2. At one point they sold for $99. It's actually the discontinued version of the current Mini 3, but we still have a small inventory of them that we're selling for, I think, $67, and they're still great instruments. And we'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Clark.
All right, I guess I need to share my screen, is that correct?
Yes, you do. I'm
I'm clicking on share screen.
Are you not able to? I will fix that if you're not able to. Give me 1 second. You should. All right, I'm going to fix it. You should be able to now.
I see multiple participants can share simultaneously. Is that what I want to choose?
No, you just want to click right on the share, on the green share.
Oh, got it. You can tell how often I use
Yeah, it's okay.
Zoom.
There you go. And I'm going to turn my video off so I'm not distracting.
Okay. And I'll just repeat, I think what Jim said is, we'll do like a brief overview of TruHu, and I can actually do a demo as well, because the calibration only takes like a minute with TruHu. It's part of the what makes it attractive in my mind. And then there'll be opportunity for people to ask questions, and we'll respond to them. So here's a quick overview. The start using TruHu is you go to our website, truhu.app, and you can download the desktop app. And there's also a QR code to get to the App Store for the iPhone app as well. And it is the current shipping version is for the iPhone and the Mac. I think we support everything back to the iPhone 7, and the Mac versions go back like 5 years. So pretty much everyone under the sun should be able to use TruHu. We're getting ready to go into the beta testing on our iPhone Windows app, so that, and then we have a roadmap for
Clark,
but
Clark, can you turn off your video, because your audio is, at least for me, is cutting in and out a little bit, and sometimes if you turn off video, it will help with that.
Yes, stop video.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay. Yep, thanks for that. So yeah, I was saying that we're looking to add Android support later this year, but we don't have that exact dates, so I don't want to set false promises. All right, and then the workflow is that once you get the mobile app up and running, it's gonna take over control of your desktop, kind of like a remote might take over control of your TV and go through the calibration process. Getting in there. There we go. So during the demo, I'll be able to show you the screens for the desktop app, but not the iPhone, since it's on my iPhone. So I thought I'd show these to you kind of ahead of time. So there's a welcome screen. There's a adjust your ambient lighting screen. You want your display to be the brightest object in your viewing environment. So, you know, what you want to avoid is having bright light shining in from the window or a lamp shining directly on the screen. You don't have to be, you don't need to work in a dark cave, but you want your display to be the brightest object in your viewing environment. And then you get to set your brightness. We find that most people have already set their brightness to a level that they're comfortable with. But if you never fiddle with your brightness, we give you some instructions on how to fiddle with the on-screen display if you're not familiar with that. At least, you know, an example of what one is like. And then, or if you're on a Mac laptop, you'd go to the system settings to make those kind of adjustments and get to a brightness setting you like. And a little bit, you can, when ChuHu goes through its calibration, it does its calibration by reducing levels of red, green, and blue, because it starts out at 100%. So if you want to kind of overshoot your desired brightness by a little bit, that's okay as well, because ChuHu might, depending on how dramatic of adjustment it makes, it might reduce your brightness a little bit at the end of the process. Then you choose a color temperature. The 6500 is default, which is the white point for sRGB and Adobe RGB, and most people will calibrate the screens to 6500. If you're, let's say, in the print world and you have a D50 light booth and you want to adjust, you know, make sure your screen is relatively yellow, sort of white, we give you 5000 degrees, and other color temperatures in between. And even if you want to go cool to 8000, you can do that as well. So initial screens, then what's gonna come up is the gray target on your screen, and you simply, you know, the image on the left is what your iPhone. You take the photo, and once you take the photo, what you're seeing is the image on the right. And we have these guides. You know, there's an outer box that's yellow and an inner box that's green to help you line up. It's and you capture gray, and then that gets loaded up to the internet, and we do a gamma adjustment, push that down, and then we show a color target, which will be coming up in the live demo. I feel like I skipped. Oh, I'm sorry about that. This I started on the initial screen, but I didn't. So I'm going to go back and give you some little more background on what ChuHu is all about. So what is it? It's a combined mobile, iPhone, and desktop, currently Mac monitor calibration. And these are the steps that you go through that we kind of already talked about. A little review of what's out there currently. And, you know, if you want to calibrate your screen prior to TruHu, you're probably going to be using either a Datacolor Spider, Calibrite / X-Ray, now called Color Checker. And these are external colorimeters that you plug in, and you can see this little lower left area, it's USB-A. And if you have a modern computer, you probably don't have a USB-A, so you have to get an adapter to make this work as well. And so a little comparison to TruHu versus applications. So one thing we really focused on was improving the ease of use. So some of the questions traditional applications ask you, like, what's your preferred gamma? What kind of backlight technology are you using? We don't think most people know that, so we pick a gamma for you, which is 2.2, which is what most people want to use anyways. And then we have a lookup table. We're able to look at your display and determine what the backlight technology is and use that. So we don't have to ask you what it is. And then it's super fast. It takes about a minute to calibrate, whereas if you do one of the old-fashioned ways, it's about 5 to 10 minutes to go through the calibration. And 1 minute versus 5 to 10, not a big deal. But if you're doing it on a regular basis, that's a big advantage. Yeah, this is our older price. We're just in the process of adjusting our price to $39.99 per year. But either way, it's It's a really good deal compared to a Spider or a Calibrate, which are in the $200 range. And the filters inside these colorimeters on the right are usually slated to last like 3 years. So you should really replace that solution every 3 years, so that even if you get 3 years of subscription of TruHu, you're still way ahead of the game financially. All right, and this is the screen that I was taking you through, and I think we're ready to go through a live demo at this point. So escape here, and I'm going to launch TruHu. So this is what the initial screen looks like, and I have TruHu launched on my phone, and on the phone it says basically, welcome to TruHu, make sure you connect to hit the next button. So I hit the next button, and it says adjust your ambient lighting. I've already got my ambient lighting well adjusted, so I don't need to worry about that right now. And we do give you, there's a little, if you're like, well, what's ambient lighting? What do I need to adjust? We give you like a little mini tutorial on making sure the shades are closed or the direct lighting is off, things like that. And then you can set your brightness. You won't be able to see if I set my brightness, but I've already preset my brightness on this display, so I know it's in a good range. There might be, we can discuss this when we're done with the demo. People might have questions. What's the ideal brightness? And we can respond to that because it depends a lot upon your environment. So I've set my brightness, and now I get to adjust my color temperature. The default again is 6500 Kelvin, which is kind of the industry norm. I don't know, for this demo, I'm not going to change it. And now up comes the gray target, and it says use your iPhone to capture the gray image. So, and you can see it's tilted, and the reason we tilt it is reduce moire patterns. And there's a little info box on the left that explains about that as well. But it helps improve the accuracy of the measurements of the camera if we tilt it a little bit. So I hit the next button, and I am pointing the camera at the display, and I'm going to hit. Does it have to match? And the answer is not super exact. As long as, you know, as long as the outer yellow box is on the screen, you're good to go. Sorry about being exactly aligned. That's one of the tricks around TruHu. The cameras, they can capture raw data, convert the raw data to colorimetric data, which is necessary to build an ICC profile. So we're uploading the raw photo to the TruHu servers, and then it's doing some changes, and now it's downloading a color image. We're going to do the same thing.
And Clark, I can attest to, this is Jim, I can attest to the fact that you don't have to be lined up perfectly. You just got to be pretty close. So because this part
Yeah,
is so frustrating.
We have
a couple times you do it.
I'll say intelligence. If it's off a little bit, we've kind of got some error handling built in.
Yep.
It would be not so good. All right, so I've uploaded the color image and to the internet, and it should now download the color image. And then it's going to go through its process to create a moment. And there is the profile created, and it tells us the name of the profile. We automatically name it with the name of the display type and the model number, TruHu, so you can distinguish it from any others. What your white point you chose is, and then the date and time of calibration. So if you're doing multiple calibrations, you can easily distinguish one from the other. And then we have this toggle switch at the top where you can say, well, what's the old profile look like? What's the new profile look like? How much of difference is there? In my instance, I think my last profile was a TruHu profile. So they look pretty darn similar, not surprising. And then you're like, yo, I like the TruHu profile. Let's keep it. And then finally, we give you a reminder option. We recommend that you calibrate once a month to keep on top of your display's color accuracy. So you can say done, and we are done. We're back to the home screen, which means we're done.
Your video is going to work. Maybe when you're not sharing, it'll work. 'Cause it seemed to work earlier. So, all right.
Yeah, and
We did have one question. I
saw
think
that.
but maybe to clarify, Clark, it was whether it would work on a PC monitor as well as a Mac monitor.
Yes, so the determining factor of where TruHu will work is not the monitor, it's the operating system. So I'd rephrase the question, does TruHu work for Windows? And the answer is currently the only version of TruHu that's shipping is for the Mac, but we are planning to go into beta. We've been working feverishly on the Windows solution for the last few months, and we're probably going into beta around the end of this month with the intention of shipping the Windows product by the end of April.
And the second part of that question was, would it work on an older iMac? I would assume yes, because of the operating system.
Yeah, we just had a customer actually send us a little testimonial that said that they had an old iMac which they were getting ready to chuck because the color was awful, and he didn't want. He said, I don't want to spend $200 on a colorimeter because the display is probably not worth that much. And he downloaded and subscribed to TruHu, and he said, sure enough, it brought the color back on this display, and you just saved me the cost of buying a new monitor. So. Now, if your old iMac is on, a super old operating system, I don't have it. We have FAQs. I can look at our FAQs and see what's the oldest operating system on the Mac that we support. But it's on the order of like 5 years old. So if you're on a super old iMac that's got an out-of-date operating system, that could be an issue.
How many different monitors can you calibrate with the subscription?
Sorry, I was just looking up on our FAQs. Looks like we go back to Mojave 1014. That's the oldest operating system we support. And then the oldest operating system for iOS is 14 and 14.5. So
I think I can answer that.
We did some investigation, and basically we should be covering 95% of the market with the operating systems we're supporting. So sorry, what was the next question, Shelby?
Next question is, how many different monitors can you calibrate with the subscription?
Good question. And the answer is an unlimited number of monitors.
I knew that one.
Yeah, we talked about trying to limit it, but technically it was super challenging. We didn't think it was worth trying to do that. So every subscription allows you to calibrate an unlimited number of monitors.
Okay, I have another question. When the Android version is available, will it be possible to use it with an iMac or only the Windows version? I think you're still going to support both, right?
Yes. When Android, and I'm curious what kind of phone this user has, because Android is kind of a very wide world, right, of Android phones out there. We're planning to support the Samsung Galaxy and the Google Pixel, and I think those are the two phones that we're focusing on initially, and we will definitely work with both the Mac and the Windows.
That question came from Esther Miller, and she said she has a Samsung.
Good to hear. I've done a little bit of research, and I think Samsung has got the at least in the United States has got big chunk of the market, and Pixel is carving out the high end, so we want to support them as well. But it's if we wanted to cover 99% of the market, we'd have to calibrate for like an infinite number of phones, which we can't do.
So
I will say, I'll be interested, Clark, when you do support the Android, because when I've mentioned TruHu in classes specifically to graphic designers, a lot of them are on Androids. They're very interested in your product, and they can't wait to, I have a couple people who've said, please shoot me an email when it is supported. So
yeah, frankly, I'm intimidated because getting a TruHu for the initial version for Mac and iPhone running was just a gargantuan effort. We had to overcome a lot of technical challenges. So I was like, oh, thank God, TruHu for Windows iPhone is going to be a piece of cake. Not so. It's been a much more work than we expected as well. And I think Android is going to be another huge chunk of work. So I'm not totally looking forward to it, but I know there's a demand for it, so we will get to it eventually.
So I've used TruHu now for at least a year, right? I mean, because you put me, I was in the original, one of the original betas, and
Yeah, we probably started beta about a year ago. We started
yeah,
shipping in May.
and I've been really impressed with it. I like the first time I did it, I jumped on the phone. I'm like, Shelby, you got to get in this beta because this is like a game changer. And I say that because we, you know, there I see that question, Shelby. We'll get to it. So there Shelby and I have done a lot of monitor calibrations with like i1 Pros, and which is even more expensive than the solutions you showed. And if you use that product, Shelby, what is your how-to guide? 13 pages long, something like that?
It really is. Yeah.
It's about, I mean, I'm not exaggerating. It's a 13-page how-to guide that Shelby created. And if you use the largest patch set, which is what's recommended, it's about a 35-minute process.
That's a good point. Yeah, the i1 Pro, which is a spectrophotometer, is indeed slower. And I always use the default patch set when I'm doing calibrations. But if you're kind of a geek and you go for the bigger patch set, it takes a long time.
Eek. But yeah, I mean it's and so I saw this and I was like, and at the time I left the BenQ, or not my ISO, I left calibrated using the i1, and then I had an older Mac, and I'm like, this is not worth the time difference. And I've never gone back. It's like, now I don't do color critical work. That's not my job. I create profiles. I look at color. So I want pleasing color on my monitor, right? I mean, I produce better quality color for my clients, but on my monitor, I need pleasing, consistent, predictable, repeatable color. That's all I need. And TruHu absolutely delivers on that. And the other thing is, let's face it, if something's easier to do, people are more likely to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I was just talking to a client today. Actually, I was doing a TruHu demo, and she was saying, yeah, I don't think we need TruHu because we have a X-Rite i1 display that we use around the studio. I'm like, oh, okay, well that is a nice solution. When's the last time you calibrated? She's like, I think it's been 2 years. I was like,
yep,
duh, what's the point of having it if you don't use it? And
absolutely.
so that is one of the animating things behind TruHu, is to make it fast and easy so that people are more likely to calibrate.
We have one more question here. Are there discounts for students or teams?
Um, my answer is TruHu is discounted.
Okay.
It's so inexpensive. It's kind of it is discounted for teens and students and for everybody else because it's such a good price. How's that for a sales answer?
That's a great answer. So, all right. So we have 11 attendees currently still here. I think we might have had a couple more, but that's the number we have who have qualified for the giveaway for both TruHu and the Nix. So the Nix we're giving away is the Nix Mini. So this is a colorimeter. It works great with the Nix Toolkit software. It also works fantastic with the ColorCasters Spec Check app, which I'm going to highly recommend if anyone has interest in it. This is the only place I'm giving this heads up. Within a very short period of time, hopefully less than a week, I got to talk to my developer. The price of Spec Check will go from free to significantly more than free. Significantly more than free. Think TruHu, maybe even more than that. It's going to be a one-time. It's not going to be subscription. But there's a lot of reasons for that. We can't continue to do it for free. Clark can explain that too. The upside is that if you you either download it now before we charge for it, it will and Clark just put the URL in for TruHu information in the
Yeah, I specifically put it in for the blog because there's a lot of color related
Yep.
blog entries, and if you're curious about like how bright should my monitor be, for instance, we have we have a blog entry around that, and just, you know, general questions are answered there.
Yep. And so, and so the good news is that you can get it, you can still get Spec Check for free now. The other good news is that if you buy any of your Nix devices from ColorCasters, we will always include an App Store code so that you can still get Spec Check at no additional cost. But if you have sourced your Nix devices from other people, then we need to recover. That's the real reason. We need to recover some of our development costs. So this is the Mini 2. We still have these in stock. You can buy them on the ColorCasters website right now for $67, I believe, is our current price, including shipping. I think that's what we have them priced at. We're going to give one away to one of you. Well, who's ever, I'll count one more time right before we do it. Just so you know what the whole product line is with Nix. The Mini, we have several of these left. So if you, this is a great price. The Mini 3 has been released. That sells for closer to $100 or $110. The instrument that I think is, and then I'll go to the high end. This is their Spectro 2. This is what got us involved with them. You can see it's significantly bigger. The Spectro 2 is a full-blown spectrophotometer, 32 channel. This thing is a phenomenal instrument. It's $1,1100, 11 or 1,200, 1,100, I think it is, $10.99. It might be $12.90. Yeah, it's $11.99. I don't know, $10.99 or $11.99. But it's worth every penny.
$11.99.
Okay, it's worth every penny. It's, you know, machined aluminum, comes with a calibration plaque, takes incredibly accurate, precise measurements. And then what Nix did that I absolutely love is they came out with this guy. This is the Nix Spectral L. Same size, same kind of weight, same form factor as the Spectro 2. $479. So they've broken the $500 price point with a full-blown Spectro. It's 9-channel upsample to 32 for any color geeks out there, which is still more than sufficient for most quick color verification, spot color qualifications, those kinds of things. Also works great. All of these work great with the Nix toolkit, which is free with any Nix device you buy from anybody. And then all of them include Spec Check license. Again, Spec Check's still free until we start charging. So that's kind of your heads up. If you own a Nix device and you've been thinking about Spec Check, get it downloaded now. Shelby's put a whole bunch of information in there in the chat for people interested. So let me make sure we still got 11 people. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. So if you guys look at my phone, I got a random, no, it's not going to work, is it? There it is. It's got a random number generator on it. This, I'm going to shake it. I haven't seen it yet either. What is that? 8?
8.
8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kenneth, you need to message Shelby or email Shelby at ColorCasters with your information. You just won the TruHu app.
Kenneth, send me an email at shelby@colorcasters.com with your preferred mailing address, and I will get that shipped out to you. Congratulations.
Are we talking TruHu or are we talking
That was the Nix.
That was TruHu.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was true. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Because we don't need to ship anything.
No.
All we need is an email address, and we'll get them a free subscription.
So
Sorry about that.
this one is for the Mini
The
2.
Nix. Okay.
My only qualification with the Mini 2 is you have to be in the US. I don't know if anyone here is not in the US. If you win and you're not in the US, let me know. We'll figure out some other way to get you some kind of a prize, but we aren't going to try and ship this outside of the US. So let's see what we got here. What is that? 11?
That's 11.
11. So that's Shamaya. I apologize. Shelby, can you help me with that one? It's the last person in the list.
Yeah, I would say Shemaya.
That's you.
Are
Are you in the US? I saw your that's me. Yes. Okay. So you need to communicate with Shelby. Either you can private message her here, or you could just send her an email, Shelby at ColorCasters, and she will get you the information.
ColorCasters.com, please. I'll put that in here.
Okay.
And if anybody has any questions about TruHu or any of the Nix or anything else, you can email me.
Yeah. All right. Any last minute questions? Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up. Well, Clark, we thank you for taking time out of your day. We appreciate your help on the webinar.
Can we do a webinar on spot color with Spec Check? Craig is asking.
Sure.
We could make that our next webinar, honestly.
Yeah, that could be our next quarter. As I mentioned earlier, these are quarterly. So this is our first quarter webinar. We did one in the fourth quarter of, so this is our second in the, and I guess our first season technically. So we're only going to do them quarterly, but I like that idea. We love suggestions. So there's a good one. Spot colors are a hot topic. We've got a lot to talk about. So that would come up probably sometime around May or June. And yeah, absolutely. I like that idea. So,
I wrote it down, so
all right.
we'll do it.
Clark, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Yes,
And
thank
for the
you.
attendees, thank you for showing up. We really don't get to do this. There will be recordings. If you, I know some of you came in a little late. Might take us a little while. I want to do some editing on this one, but we will get we'll get the webinar up in the next week or so. And you're on our email list now unless you unsubscribe. And so when it's posted, you will get a notification, and we'll be able to you'll be able to go check out the recording if you want to.
All right, we should let Kenneth know. I asked him for his email address, which he provided, but for some reason I can't do copy and paste. So Shelby, I'll need to get that from you to get him his subscription.
Okay.
Oh, you can't get it up? Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
got
doing copy and paste. It's not working right. Maybe it's my ignorance of
Don't
Well,
worry
we
about
have
it.
we'll have his email from his sign up. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds
All
good.
right. Fantastic.
Hey, nice talking with you guys.
All right.
Take care.
I'm going to end the meeting, everyone. Bye.
Bye.